Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Revolutionary Baddies podcast. I am your host. My name is Dee Dee.
And I am your host, Brittany.
And we are back. We are in season 2, episode 21.
21.
Yeah, welcome.
We are so back. I know we did not have an episode last week.
We didn't. But we've been traveling.
The baddies have been on the road.
We've started our summer.
Lord, and we needed it.
In the Caribbean.
Ooh, y'all, I got my first sunburn. I didn't think it was possible. But it happened.
Yeah.
And I'm a survivor. I quickly healed from it.
Period.
And the baddies have been on the move. It would be great if we could just spend all of our time doing this podcast.
I know.
But these jobs, we've been on the move for pleasure and work.
Yeah.
Y'all know Dee Dee is back in the streets.
I'm back. I'm out of retirement, working full time.
Yeah.
As a training director at an organization called Momentum Community, and we train organizers. First of all, we train organizers to understand that there's theory to movement, to action, to non-cooperation, to developing campaigns. There is some history and science attached to it, and at my job I run the school of thought to help really train organizers on how to understand more about movement theory. So
that's no easy feat.
It's been great. Just held my first major project as the training director. I trained about 50 to 60 people to understand basically our theory and our curriculum and how to train other people on it. And it went really well. It went so good. I already gotten a lot of feedback. 4s out of 5s, 5s out of 5s.
I love that.
At every level.
Of course.
But that took me out, It was long days.
Yeah.
It was every day. It was like a week-long situation. So, I'm grateful that we've gotten a chance to take this break. So we want to thank y'all for your patience.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, because it's life is life.
Yeah.
We are out here living it. And it's good. I mean, today is the first day of summer.
Yes. Happy summer solstice.
Woo! New seasons. And I think that's what's been going on lately, is that we are been transitioning from one season to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of that, we're in the middle of season 2.
Yes.
But we have some big news about season 2.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
Ahead,
The great news. Okay. So y'all know pretty much on almost every episode, we're like, y'all, we're taking this to 26.
all the way.
All the way.
Uh-huh.
But like the Knicks, we don't have to go to game 7.
We did.
To
win the championship.
Yeah. We have some exciting things coming up this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And if we kept riding this train out for 6 more episodes, we would be hopping from one train to the next.
Right.
Grabbing our bags.
Right.
Hair in the wind. So we have made the wonderful decision to end the season a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Now don't freak out. Calm down. Everybody calm down. We are only ending the season a little bit earlier than 26 episodes because we are planning some amazing things that need our full attention and energy that y'all are going to eat up.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
You're going to love it. You're not going to not hear from us.
Right.
This is not the end of our voices.
Right.
But we got to get in a different mode.
Yeah, we had to make some choices. And we're not feeling like we need to explain or apologize for it. That's not the energy that we were bringing. We just want to be accountable to what we have said and what we've committed to, and that the timing of everything has gotten us to this pivot which I think will be beneficial. It's just beneficial for
Absolutely.
everybody. For y'all, for us, for the podcast.
Everything.
Yeah.
And we've said so much in these past episodes.
We've given a lot.
We've explored a lot.
Hell yeah.
And so I think that there's a wealth to take from season 2. And of course, there's always going to be season 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the meantime, we ain't quite done. We're going to hit you all with this episode today. And then we have our final episode next week.
Yes.
And from there, we are looking to still, of course, be in the Revolutionary Baddies universe.
Mm-hmm.
We want you all to do what one of our followers did. Okay, let's get into this story. Okay,
this is a special shout out.
A special shout out because we are always constantly like asking for this engagement, right? And we get it. We get a lot of feedback. We do have some very committed listeners who, like, as soon as an episode comes out, they're DMing us, they're texting us, they're sending us the voice notes, they're letting us know how they feel about it. And that's what we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So I believe our Mother's Day episode and our normal banter, because we be up here kikiing.
Cutting up.
We talked about men, barking like they want it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I said something like, send us a voice note barking. Bark in our inbox. Send us an email. Dee Dee was like, email us. Okay. So that was March. May. No, May. That was May. Mm-hmm. Just about a week or so ago, about a week and a half ago, we received an email that started off with barking. Immediately.
Yeah. It was a voice note that somebody sent via email, which I love because
it's so intentional. You have to download it. He named it.
Yeah.
Named the file
and which episode it was in reference to.
Yeah. Loved that. That made our day.
Literally.
Like, that made our day. And we're not just asking for barking, but we definitely love that. We want you all to engage with some of the things that we have coming up, okay? We want you all to go back and listen to some episodes and send us your thoughts. Send us an op-ed. Do a write-up.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, mention us.
Talk to us.
Yes.
Shout out to that follower. I actually saw him last night.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I went up to say, hey, you could tell that wasn't even the first thing on his mind. So it kind of made me wonder, how wild is this man?
He like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah. I went up to say hey, and he didn't have any like meekness of like, oh, I know you about to say something about it. He just was like, what's up? And I'm like, yo, that voice note. And he's like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah.
No.
Gotta be a wild boy. I love it.
The funniest part to me was when he was like, y'all said bark like you want it, and I knew that was for me.
And he reiterated that last night. He was like, I heard y'all and I said, this is for me. And it's about accepting that call. So when we say engage with us, whatever's the way in which that it touches you, you're like,
how you resonate with it.
Like, okay, no, I should send him an email or send him a DM or post something or whatever.
Right.
Do that.
We want that.
Seek the toes, whatever. Y'all know. Like whatever you are being called gravitating to in the universe.
Yeah.
To do that. We also got some great feedback. Or I wouldn't even call it feedback per se, but we found out that an organization picks one of our episodes every month to have a group discussion about. Yeah. And I thought that was so cool. I'm like,
so good.
That was another thing that just like made our day to get that information.
It's so sweet. Like, they listen as part of their like staff meetings.
Yes.
It's like a discussion about what we talk about in the episode. And that's part of the dream.
That's what we're doing it for.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
These conversations need to go beyond just your earphones.
Yeah.
And into real world things.
Right. You don't have to come up with a quirky, funny, corny little opening question for your staff meeting. Just have everybody listen to our episode and then come with it. That's the discussion. And
I would love for it to just become a full out debate. Y'all know I love that.
Let them fight.
Let them fight. Shout out to Babs. What was her name?
Babs. Yep.
Babs. Okay. Yeah. Let them fight. That's one of my favorite quotes in life. Let them fight. For real.
Ooh, shout out to Making the Band.
Shout out
to all
Peak
of them.
TV. Peak reality TV. You can't
TV.
get those type of characters these days.
No, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah. Shout out to Dylan. So we've had some very exciting things come our way. And once again, we have more to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Didi, how are you feeling today on this first day of summer?
I'm feeling great. I love the summer solstice. I feel like it really brings it just brings the shininess of a new season, new vegetation. Things are growing. There was I went for a run yesterday. There was a butterfly that was swarming around me for mad long, and I caught it on video. But I was like, that's a sign for the transformation, kind of coming out of that cocooning period of transformation, and just being out here.
Love it.
So I mean, now Durham has been extremely high. We've already hit the hundreds. We've already hit the hundreds, and it's mid-June. So we have an idea of what we're in for. We're in a drought also. We need about 15 more inches of rain soon. Or they're going to have to put out a serious advisory. Climate disaster. We have an episode talking about that. But that feels a little scary to me.
Yes.
Just a little concerning.
I think people forget that we get water from the sky.
Yeah.
It's a cycle.
Right.
That
we actually need it to fall.
Yeah, we need we don't just have it.
Right.
I think they should have never released that statistic that Earth is 75% water, because people are really banking on it. They're like, we got mad water.
Got it.
It's like ocean water.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah.
That ocean water is not going to serve all of our needs.
Can't help us.
We need fresh water. We need rainwater.
And we need it constantly.
Yeah.
But so I'm feeling great about the summer solstice. We had a great Juneteenth.
Yes.
Shout out to Open Stew.
Shout out to Open Stew, man.
Seriously. Shout out to Derek Beasley and Mars for putting on this beautiful event every so often.
Yeah.
And it feels like a little black reunion of the black artsies in Durham.
Love it.
Multi-generational. We sang Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Okay. People locked in.
No, yeah.
It was not even called for us to do it, but it went from a hum to nah, we gonna sing this.
We singing this.
Shout out to all 3 verses of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Shout out to, we need to actually have an episode. That'll be season 3.
That's it.
That's just on that song. We got to break it down.
Let me tell y'all, when that episode comes, I will tell y'all how I pretty much was online. I was treated like I was pledging. And the pastor of the church camp I went to, he had us reciting it over and over and over, and was breaking it down like it was our history. This is what happens when you let an alpha run a children's camp. That man really had us in there on set. Yeah. So we'll get to that. But I thank him for it, because I do still to this day know all 3 verses.
Period.
Definitely about Stony the road we trod.
Okay.
Bitter the chestnut rod.
Baby, the second verse really eats the first verse up. But that's the one we know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to get into that.
Yeah. But shout out to Open Stew. What a great Juneteenth event. And just like Beezy said, anytime black people get together, about freedom, we on the right track.
Sign me up.
Every time.
Every time. I'm out there 3 generations deep. Me, my mama, and my child.
Okay.
And her doll, Tasha Zuri. We was out there deep.
Period. But yeah, how you been, Brittany? How's it been going?
It's been going good. I feel that same spirit of transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I ended I'm transitioning in my job, and I'm working for the same company, but I'm going from one office to another, a different portfolio, somewhat different level of demands, but pretty much the same job. But nonetheless, it's a change.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up Friday and it was raining, and I did not want to work on Juneteenth, but it was my last day in the office. I had things to wrap up. And I woke up feeling like, okay, the rain is like a cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the ending day of something to start with like heavy rains, which we needed desperately, was like, this is a cleansing. Tomorrow I go in and start my new role, essentially. And so it's like perfect timing because it's a new season. And so I have some anxieties, obviously, but I'm feeling good. I just came back from a vacation, my first vacation in 2 years with my girls. I went to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
And that was much needed. Time with other Black women in the sun is probably like, I could be on like Wheel of Fortune, and if I could spin the wheel and that would be what it land on, like you get 4 days in the sun with other Black women, I would be jumping up and down like it was a fucking minivan. Like
it's a lottery.
It is. Give it to me. I had a great time there with my girls. And so I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling ready to tackle new things. And to get into the summertime, I came back chocolate.
Yeah.
Only burnt in a small area, honestly. Like the sun really couldn't fuck with me the way it wanted to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just looking darker, browner, healthier, better. My skin is glowing. Where I got burnt, you would never know it because it's shining as we speak.
Period.
Fresh layer on it of grease. So yeah, I'm ready to get into some activity. I'm ready to cut up.
Yeah, I know you are.
Ooh, that dog in me. I'm ready to cut up. That's what summertime is for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it. We are going to be talking about an event that happened here in North Carolina. And I think that, when we talk about history, which is, a big part of our podcast, it's really easy to talk about just national history, international history, all of these big moments. But North Carolina is such a rich state.
It's stacked.
I mean,
it's stacked,
like
honey.
in civil rights and organizing and freedom movements. I mean, as we discussed, the Miss Ella Baker was born and raised here in North Carolina. And so we've got giants from this state, and we've just had a lot of significant events that have happened. So it's only right that we put one to the forefront today and really talk about what it means in a larger context.
Yeah. I think there's more and more of us, because of the stage and the state of capitalism that we're in, there's a lot more opportunities for solidarity amongst workers and amongst the working class and amongst the Black working class. This is like prime opportunity for that. And North Carolina, with all of its history of resistance, is also one of the worst states to be a worker, really, in terms of your rights, in terms of unionization opportunities, in terms of increasing the minimum wage.
Yeah.
It's at the bottom.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
North Carolina can be tricky because we have so many universities in the state.
Exactly.
So many HBCUs in the state. We have
some of the most.
Yeah, some of the most. We have big job industries. We have the Research Triangle Park. We have Charlotte, which is a booming metropolitan now.
And the banking and finance and Duke is also huge.
Huge, it's massive.
Yeah.
The Raleigh-Durham area, the Charlotte area, these areas stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it paints a story of North Carolina that is not actually complete.
Yeah.
North Carolina is overwhelmingly a rural state.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is the third most rural state as far as like the percentage of rural land to urban areas. And there is a lot of textile industry. I mean, even Durham, you can go throughout Durham. You got the American Tobacco Campus. We have a history of being, I think when people think of like cities or places that were formed around factories, they think of like Detroit and like some of these other bigger cities, places in Ohio. And North Carolina used to be a very booming industry for like tobacco, for instance, and other textile industries. And so there is a lot of rural North Carolina is being carried by the big cities.
Yeah, right.
And the workers are facing a lot of issues in most counties throughout North Carolina. As far as, you know, like we don't really feel a lot of the minimum wage crunch here in Durham, although our city workers are still fighting to get fair wages, better wages.
And the teachers.
God knows, and the teachers. And, you know, like I say, some of the teachers in Raleigh and Durham and Chapel Hill and Cary, you know, are getting better pay, although they deserve more. But where we're seeing a lot of schools are potentially facing closing, not being able to keep staff. Our rural counties are really seriously being affected by the makeup of what's going on in North Carolina. And North Carolina likes to toot itself as a very progressive state. And in comparison to some of our surrounding states, we are, in some ways, I believe, one of the only states now in the South where you can get an abortion up to 12 weeks. So people are having to travel to North Carolina to get those services. So in ways, we are progressive, but we are holding on by threads. And we have a history that is not much different than Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and sometimes that's kind of swept up under the rug in some of the gains that North Carolina has made.
Yeah. And it also, there's lots of the like Black Wall Street and the Black excellence and the Black middle class because of the universities, access to those universities, and because of the remnants and the descendants of Black Wall Street. It all exists here.
Yeah.
Along with the Black, Appalachian and the mountain. It's a whole different society, really, of people and how they're raised and how they understand, how they think of what rural is and what living in the city is. So it's just a huge mix of life and history that exist here. And I think it's worth consistently speaking on because as the South goes.
Lord knows.
So we want to talk about, we really wanted to highlight some of the history of union organizing in the state. And particularly thinking about, you mentioned like we in Durham, there was a tobacco companies here that made a lot of the make and the economy of the city. And Reynolds is a huge tobacco company that made cigarettes back in the early 1900s. But we're also incredibly anti-union.
Yeah.
And specifically the site that was in Winston-Salem.
Yes.
And that really called for organizing to get unionized. And this was work that was primarily led by Black women.
Aren't we always?
Isn't that always the story?
But, it is true that Black women, as we've reiterated on previous episodes, we face layers of oppression. And we are in a unique position here in America, socially and economically.
Yeah.
And so the reason that we are constantly the push behind so much change is because we are the ones who are disproportionately affected.
Mm-hmm.
And at this particular tobacco factory, Black women were oftentimes given the jobs that were the most dangerous, working as steamers for the leaves of tobacco, which I was like, wow, you really don't think about the work it takes to get that little ciggy in your hand.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so there was a lot of different dynamics, but Black women were constantly facing the lowest wages.
They were paid less.
And doing the hardest work. And as they say, last to get hired, first to get fired. And so unions, I would say, is such a witchy word, as they would say. And I remember growing up and hearing people say, like, oh, they're in a union, or, just it's kind of the remnants of like anti-communism. But unions really are about organizing workers and protecting workers.
Right.
And the failure for a lot of unions to materialize in the South and North Carolina is racism.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's been the way that they've been able to dismantle a lot of worker power, because it's like Black women trying to organize along the same lines as white women who are workers as well. And one thing about when they go to that drawing board, they know how to bring up their favorite tactic to divide people,
right,
and to pretty much say like the problems of the Negro women are like what they should be. That helps keep everybody down from building collective power and being able to organize. Yeah.
And the tobacco, it's a tobacco plant, so there's all kinds of dangers that was happening. This is the 1940s especially, so there wasn't as many restrictions or accountability around safety conditions for the workers. And a lot of the Black employees at the Reynolds Tobacco Company dealt with, first of all, segregated work site, and oppressive heat. Again, like you said, with the steamers and everything else it takes to turn a tobacco leaf into a box of cigarettes, and how dangerous it was for the workers. And in 1943, there was a death that happened during the job of a coworker that was working, and the Black women that were working in this particular area basically organized a strike where they decided to not work. It was about 1,000 of them that agreed to not work. And so there was a work stoppage that happened, and a push for there to be more accountability around the conditions, around pay, around health, around health support, medical support, and also like some of the long hours, just a bunch of things that were impacting their ability to work. And so this strike happened, and then within like a week, these women had organized 10,000 people to picket to the picket lines outside of the company's headquarters. And that's what really led to the formation of Local 22.
Yeah. And it was actually took place between June 17th and June 23rd. Oh. So we are in the anniversary period of that moment right now.
Wow.
The summer solstice came out and said something. Turn the heat up on these motherfuckers.
They turning the heat up on y'all.
Cook them.
Get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this moment was not isolated. It was about this bubbling that was happening where there was these campaigns to help unionize workers in the South. And that it was sparking because post World War II, there was a lot of different dynamics changing in America.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
Yeah, boy.
Black people got the word.
That was a decade.
Yes.
The 40s, like I say, the 60s gets all the glory. She's the shiny hair sister.
Yeah.
The 40s and the 50s were really putting in a lot of transformative work.
Absolutely.
Beating and bludgeoning. They don't show. I don't know if the cameras weren't as good. I mean, it wasn't, obviously TV wasn't in most homes
TV
during that time.
Thing. And photography back then was still very expensive and hard to come by.
Different. And it wasn't, they're not going to premiere it on a network.
Exactly.
So we were not seeing, we saw the dogs on them in the 60s.
Right.
We don't know. They had probably bears on us in the 40s. We don't know what the motherfuckers was up to. Okay. I mean, we do. We have no, but it was intense times. And there was also this rise in communism.
Yeah.
And,
with the Soviet Union. So
supposedly we went to World War II to fight, back it off and going into this Cold War era. And so these moments where Black workers are striking out, specifically on the grounds of them being workers and demanding rights, them motherfuckers in the ruling class was like, communists are here to destroy America.
Destroy democracy. Yeah.
Whole time. One of the things, the demands that they were making was like extra 65 cents and 3 paid holidays and certain worker protections. Really mild demands.
Yeah.
But obviously this was a big step for them to be able to do this and to be supported. One of the things that I enjoyed learning about it was that, a lot of local people were helping the people on strike financially, and that they actually were going to other businesses and Black businesses and saying, we're going to boycott y'all if y'all don't get some money to support us, because we're doing this for the greater community.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that what was so unique about this Local 22 strike is that how much of the larger community actually supported the workers in this moment, because they recognized that this was bigger than just the Reynolds factory issues.
Right.
And that this was a larger issue for Black workers in general, and it was a multiracial moment as well.
Yeah. These Black women were doing something remarkable for the early 1940s in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, because this is also the period of just the boom in lynchings. And lynchings, I mean, a lot of Black people got lynched because they're trying to form a union. A lot of Black people. We talked about that I think we talked about it in the Black Health episode around the farmers' strike. It was a Greenwood.
Oh, yeah.
Did they
in the Mississippi Delta.
Did they face violence because of the strike?
They did.
Yeah. And so we have these they have these examples, right, that they also know about that happened before the 1940s of what type of risk it is and it was to try to unionize in the South amongst Black workers. Yeah.
And I have the book with me, Black Scare, Red Scare, Theorizing Capitalist Racism in the United States by Dr. C.B.S. We've mentioned her before. What I loved about this book was that it was the first book that I really read that juxtaposed the rise in Black activism along with communist activity, and that the people in power were trembling. They never show it, right? They're not going to act nervous, but they saw the potential of Black working people joining with communist ideology and organizing. And they said, call the Klan, call the boys, call the boys. We need the boys to get active.
Call them up.
And that's what they did to break up these unions. They had police assaulting people and arresting people. They were bombing the hell out of these facilities where unions were meeting, and they were making it very difficult. And they were even putting up posters. I saw online a Klan poster where it said, you know, y'all better not be communists, and if you know anybody doing any type of communist activities, contact us. And they were really putting this in black communities to say, like, this is a terrible thing for y'all to even think about. Don't think about organizing as workers. Don't try to build these, you know, even though a lot of black people in the South were under Jim Crow and working in segregated workplaces, they were still at the same building.
Exactly.
It's only so much you can, if you're in a rural town of 6,000 people, it's only so much Jim Crow can do to separate these people. Y'all in the work parking lot. You know what I'm saying? And you have grievances, and everybody loves to get off work, smoke their cigarette, and talk about how the boss ain't shit. And so they have to employ these tactics to go in. But the resilience of this movement and this moment was that people were able to briefly organize and make some gains. Because they did sustain strike. And I think that kind of goes into this moment now. People are like, what will it take? And we keep hearing the word general strike be brought up a lot by a lot of the socialist parties and just organizers in general right now in present day. And it's because they're not thinking it's just this new ideal that might really do something. There's actually a very detailed histoy of worker strikes getting the demands that they need. When the teachers took that one day off a couple months ago, I said, make it a week.
Make it a week. I mean, also shout out to Minneapolis and their general strike that happened across the city, where it was, you know, something like 75,000 people participated in that general strike. And even though there probably hasn't been any significant drastic changes in what ICE has been doing in our communities, like it hasn't hit that, but it is a opportunity to practice. What does it take for the solidarity, the unity, and the collective action all at the same time? Like, what does it actually take to get there? And we have to constantly be practicing that experiment.
I think like things like that have to go from the imagination to the scene. And we are a very visual people, and a lot of the things that we talk about and you can read about don't feel real until you, like you say, see it in practice. And so, you know, did that one day strike radically transform anything? No. But it at least took it from being this like concept where people hear a word to like, oh, this is like what collective action can look like. And it takes a lot to sustain a general strike. I think that even going back to like, or going up in time to the bus boycott,
the Montgomery bus boycott.
In general, there's not a lot of conversation about the logistics that were planned and carried out day to every day, and transforming the logistics as the heat grew on it, as the national attention grew on it, as the demands became clearer, as it started to actually weaken the ruling class or the people at that time that they were in Montgomery trying to get to succumb to their demands, how it started to look for them like, okay, they can sustain a week, right? They can sustain a month, but like, what does it look like when they're like, shit, we're going into 5 and 6 months and they're still going, and how they're going to change their level of aggression. And so logistics are constantly changing. And so those are some of the things that I think when the story is romanticized and just told, they're like, okay, people just didn't ride the bus.
No.
That we miss.
People did more than just not ride the bus. That's the thing.
People organized.
Yeah.
Every single day, how to support these people, how to actually get people. And it took the larger community for people who had cars. They weren't bus riders. Yeah. Okay, now's your time to shine. You're going to have to carpool these people. Yeah. And so I think that, looking at this moment, like with the local 22 strike, is how does the greater community come in and support workers? Like, say you might not be a teacher, but how do we support teachers who are in North Carolina advocating for better pay and just quality workplace? Yeah.
And the ability to stay a teacher. That's the wild part to me. It's like, if you really think about it, a lot of the labor fights, the workers' rights fights, they're coming from a place of, I don't want to do something else. I want to actually be able to do this.
Yeah.
But here's what I need to get that done. And why do we not have it when there's X amount of profits? There's X amount of salary that's happening at the executive level, at the people that are not sitting in the damn steam rooms figuring out their whole thing, or curling up the tobacco, or whatever the process is. It's a process, but these are not the people that's doing it, and yet there's so much profit. And that's what I think about with, like, Durham public schools, and just the whole education movement that's happening, education workers movement that's happening. And, like, these people actually want to remain teachers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that would never be a teacher and should never be a teacher.
God knows.
Right? We know those people. So why would you not want the people that want to remain in that field to stay in that field?
Yeah. I think it goes back to, honestly, thinking about the Du Bois documentary. We had the period of Reconstruction is drastically understudied. Yeah. The scholarship is not talked about enough as a period in the United States. Yeah. And the only reason public schools exist is because of Black people.
Literally. We talked about we made this. We made this.
We brought this up in the knowledge about.
Yeah.
And we're not saying this because we just love Black people and we just feel like we've done it all. No, it's there. The evidence is there.
Yeah.
Black people were like, hey, government, I think that every child should have a right to, like, public education, and, like, that the state should pay for it.
Yeah.
And the ruling class was like, oh my God, these niggas just are never satisfied. And so jump 100, 200 years, 100 and some years, is still a fight to remind the states, particularly the southern states, and just the United States in general, this should be a well-funded program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the least.
And they're the great-great-grandsons of the fucking Confederacy are still, like, looking at the North Carolina budget, which last year they even refused to pass.
Right.
And they're like, do we really have to budget money for this?
They don't ever have the money for it.
But you know what? Let's subsidize all these other companies coming in and doing stuff. Mm-hmm. But do we But then it's that disconnect of, like, people come here for these wonderful jobs in RTP from all over the country, all over the world, and they don't want to send their children to school. Yeah. In the public schools because they're so underfunded.
Yeah, of course.
And I've met people who are moving here and they're like, I just got to find somewhere I can get my child in school. Mm-hmm. And it's a crime that we put so much investment in business, bringing and recruiting these large corporations. I was about to say, what's it? GlaxoSmithKline and all the other big companies at RTP. Bringing professors to our acclaimed universities, and then we don't want to invest in the schools. And this is still a part of that legacy of, like, this was Black people's Reconstruction ideal, of public schools.
Yeah. Now, have you ever tried to read Black Reconstruction in America?
It's dense.
It's dense, baby. You need
your thinking cap.
You need your good thinking cap. you need other people
Mm-hmm.
also to like read and try to process it. And you need like, there was one point where I was, this was maybe 2020, and it felt like a moment that that another kind of reconstruction was primed to happen, essentially. And at this time, one of the schools, either Columbia, maybe it was Columbia, was offering free classes. Basically, they had virtual versions of their college level courses that was available for free. You just had to, sign up. And I took a class that was on just Reconstruction. I think his name is Eric. His last name is slipping me. But he wrote the second founding, which is about Reconstruction, not just Black Reconstruction, but Reconstruction. And it was really good. It was just like watching his lectures. There was discussion questions that was like associated with the different topics that he was talking about, but it was really helpful to have that next to the like Black book, the Black Reconstruction in America. It may still be available, I don't know, but it was a moment.
Yeah,
it was a moment. It was like it was just what came with 2020 was like an opportunity to take a course at Columbia, in the same way that the students had already done it in person. It was a good moment of study for me, and I gotta keep studying it because it's so much in there.
Dense, yeah.
So much in there. But yeah, so shout out to all of the eras where Black people have committed to trying to make this place a little bit more equal and well for all of us. So including Local 22, including all of the folks that have pushed around public education and continue to push around education. And just shout out to all of the new experiments that's happening with building consumer workers unions and labor workers unions.
Yeah, I think where we should focus our studies as we look for new forms of resistance is that we actually don't per se need something new. Yeah. We do need new things, right? We need new systems.
Yeah.
But I think that what has been so viciously and intentionally dismantled is the pot of gold for us. They hate unions. We need unions more than ever.
Yeah.
They hate collective bargaining. We need it more than ever. Like whatever they have on record sought to completely dismantle.
Yeah. And in legislation.
That's what we need.
That's what we need to be doing. Whatever they hate, we should love.
That is my motto, y'all.
We need to love it.
If I find out the ruling class loves something, I lose. I am now its biggest op. Whatever it is.
Y'all love Kanye West? No, thank you.
Yeah, that's why I had issues with sun lotion, sunscreen. I didn't put on any for years because I was like, I see them putting them on all the time. Something's up. I don't want to do it. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
So, looking at...
But please wear sunscreen, Black people. You see those Black people that get when they get older in their 60s, 70s, and their skin looking like leather? That's from a lack of sunscreen. And guess what leather needs? Moisturizer to last. So do we.
I did order some bottles. I'm going to start wearing it.
Yeah, just get you a little Black girl sunscreen. You good to go.
I'm going to give it... I still got my theories.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Now there is some ones that we should not be wearing.
Yeah,
the ones that give you that white cast. There's a difference. I was just schooling somebody on this before. There's mineral sunscreen. That is the one that has the white residue. So you want to try to find the ones that are not mineral based, which Black girl sunscreen has. They have gel that also works better on our skin, doesn't show the white cast. But if you just going to use, the regular old one from Dollar Tree, yeah, you going to look purple outside.
I did. I I ain't even gonna go into. I did have a woman I talked to yesterday. She was like, I still use banana boat. I met a black lady yesterday. She was like, what? I was telling her what happened about me getting sunburned. She was like, I still use banana boat. I was like, hey, but it seemed like it was working for her.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Something is definitely better than nothing. But if the issue, the thing that stops you from wearing sunscreen is because you don't want to look like Casper, there are very specific ones which is not easy to find. But yeah, so I just want to throw that plug in
that small quick. Side.
Get the skincare, y'all.
I have learned.
Don't sleep.
But yeah, looking back at what has been destroyed is what we need to rebuild. I think going into this next era in America. And speaking of this next era in America, there's things are bumbling. Rustling, tussling.
So many things.
A lot is going on.
As usual, honestly.
Yeah.
There's never been a moment where there isn't a lot going on in this country.
Exactly. I think what we've said it before, this particular regime just makes it absolutely impossible for you to ignore. Mm-hmm. Like if you didn't know what imperialism was before, you have no choice. Like we have the president of Venezuela in Brooklyn right now.
Oh. I missed that.
What? No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I ain't been on social media.
What's his name? Maduro?
Yeah.
Dee.
What? This recent?
When we captured him.
Oh. I thought you were saying, okay, you talking about back when he was initially captured.
Yeah, we still got him.
Okay. I don't think I knew that. I don't think I clocked that.
He is still in New York City.
Wow.
Held. And nobody I ain't heard from him in a minute. Him and his wife. They're still here.
Dang. You think they let him watch the Knicks?
I wonder. Oh. At this point, he's a New Yorker. Damn. I mean, he's been here for 6 months. That was in January.
Yeah.
No trial. I mean, I think he had like an initial hearing, but haven't heard much. He's dead ass here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And like what's going on with Cuba, obviously.
They making it like Cuba is next.
Yeah.
Now Cuba, they do have a history of dodging U.S. in terms of their leaders. You know, the amount of attempts on Castro's assassination.
Yeah.
And that man lived well.
They just put out like a warrant for his brother, who was like 90 some years old. So like this administration is just making it impossible to not know what the hell is going on. Because it's like, whoa, y'all are doing it. I thought this was supposed to be covert.
Right. No, they making press conferences about it.
And
because
Trump
for whatever
cannot keep his mouth shut. Like, I talked to BB today and blah blah blah. I'm like, I feel like that should probably be classified. But thanks for the scoop on it. So it's a different period that we're in right now
altogether.
But at the end of the day, certain things remain true, and the power of the people is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like a cute slogan, but it actually is like the thing. And a lot of people are like, what do we do in this moment? And we have to build power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that is a complex. Yeah. That's a complex thing to actually get into the building blocks of building power. Right. But that is what it's going to be. They're stripping voting rights. Mm-hmm. They're moving fast on that.
As fast as they can. Before this year's midterm elections.
Yeah.
They're trying to impact it, but they're getting their head start for 2028.
They are working on 2050 plans.
Yeah.
And as we ended the last season with, I respect your ambition, but you've got to have vision. Mm-hmm. We have to have the type of vision of what we want 2050 to look like.
Yeah.
And if we want 2050 to look like 2008 when Obama got elected, guys, go ahead.
We got to go back to the board.
Go ahead and put the chains on. Okay. Because
there are so many people that are like, I miss those days.
And I'm like, there is a level of privilege to miss those days.
Absolutely.
Because granted, the year 2008, I was
Yeah.
in college, a freshman,
Yeah.
and freshly getting sucked off the boat. I miss those years so much too. I was youthful. Whatever I ate didn't stick on my body.
It was nostalgic.
I loved it.
Right.
I mean, seeing a black president,
Yeah.
Michelle, the kids in the house,
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was a moment.
But I was very privileged to be at a university.
Right. Yes.
I was
Yes.
privileged to not be incarcerated.
Right.
I was privileged to not be living in an urban, underdeveloped area.
Yeah.
To
Or to be undocumented. At that
undocumented,
time.
right? Because Obama still holds the records for the most deportations under a U.S. president. Trump has not yet broken that record.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading Chain Gang All Stars, and under Obama's administration, I believe from 2010 to 2016, a 6-year period, over 14,000 claims of sexual abuse came from ICE. The ICE that some people believe just became invented when Trump came into office.
Right.
So over 14,000 claims of assault and abuse by detainees in ICE facilities. So the nostalgia comes from an extreme place of, I would say, ignorance and privilege to wish for those days, because those were years of terror for a lot of people domestically and abroad. Yeah. Because absolutely. that is the U.S. empire, right? Right. And so when we look towards what we want, I think we've got to want something more than a nigga with a fade in office.
Yeah. We don't have good old days.
No.
We literally don't have that. I mean, I think obviously people can attach their childhood.
I've had personal good old days.
Right. Personally.
But like,
of course.
as a country, as a
country, right. As an America.
No,
we don't have the good old days or whatever. Whenever America was great again, that doesn't exist. Right. So we have to be really vigilant about the vision that we need, and also how do we plan to fill in the gaps of what has existed before and what is absolutely necessary now.
Yeah. I love that socialism is on the rise.
Oh, it's on the rise.
It is.
Especially with our generation, especially with Generation Z.
It's on the tongue.
Yeah.
Right. So it's moving out of the imagination. People see socialists. You know, before it was like, who are socialists? Like, what do they look like? What do they do? They're winning. Obviously, Mamdani right now is
shout out to Mamdani.
He is what socialists are writing. They're like, we need you to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need you to keep.
He kicked ass in the election and won, and still is balancing the budget in New York City, and just the moving the universal daycare that New York has and is going to continue to grow is significant. It is a significant moment. And I know that there are some people, especially like organizers, folks that are socialists that I know, would be like, I don't think he's quite because of this, that, and the third. And that is fine.
Yeah.
That really is fine. I think we should continue to have a level of critique and accountability.
Yeah, we don't want to overly romanticize him.
No, and we can't leave it off, on the table just for him to figure out. We have to be a part of the process.
Yeah,
and there are a lot of portals that this could really open up for the future generations that do want to see more radical change and don't really want to fight against the status quo of the Democratic Party and what they think should be happening, because they've pretty much never been correct.
No.
They always calculate the shit wrong. Yeah. And really wrong most recently.
Yeah.
The record shows.
Losers.
Right. We already talked about that.
Losers.
We already talked about that.
I mean, I think Mamdani, he has a short term to be able to affect the amount of change.
Yeah.
And he is still in the epicenter of the capital. Of the capital of the country,
the belly of the belly.
He's in the big belly, not the little one.
Right.
And so there's going to be a level of concession he has to make to move things forward. Yeah. He's going to have to work within what system he has while pushing for these things. But I think that it's more important for us to not focus just on his wins and failures, but what does this mean for pushing forth a socialist movement? Right. And what can it look like to have the wealth of a city, of a state, of a nation be invested in very simple programs that improve people's lives
that most people want.
They want it.
That most people want. That's also the thing about socialism is, and just about having a progressive politic, most people are on our side.
Yeah.
Of wanting universal health care, universal child care, of wanting, of believing that ICE is doing way too fucking much and needs a lot more regulation on it. And this is what people believe at the least, right? Like, most people believe that we should have access to abortion.
Yeah.
It's hard to confuse that because of the media attention that is pushed around folks that are against it, more conservative and more oppressive, especially when it comes to healthcare and reproductive justice and all of these things. But most people believe that we should have access to these things.
Yeah.
But our government doesn't actually reflect what most people want.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't for a very, very long time.
And it's not going to be through these two parties that we get it, because what the Democrats do is they run on a semi-socialist agenda. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. And then they get in office and they say, guys, we cannot reach a bipartisan consensus on these things. We just can't. We simply can't do it. Yes, we have the House. Yes, we have the Senate. Yes, we have the courts. But we need this bipartisan support. No, we can't push it. And so I think people are like, wait, hold up. It can be done. Yeah. You can get to work and actually get to work. And so I'm just happy to see, shout out to DSA.
Yeah.
Shout out to PSL. And shout out to the other organizations that are out here doing a lot of education around it and bringing people into this, because Black women who have been fighting for decades, they have been doing it often along socialist and communist lines.
Exactly.
And it's never been about a party. It's been about rights. It's never. They're like, you know what? I'll be a damn Republican if that's where I can get my agenda through. But it's never been about us being so loyal to the Democrats. It's been about who can we push and move the most.
Right.
But I think that we're arriving to a point where that ship has hit. It's hit the docks.
Yeah.
It ain't moving us no more. And what we need a new vessel.
We do.
We need a bigger ship.
We need a
new ship to sell us where we need to go.
The North Star.
We need the Black Star.
That's what I'm the Black Star.
Heading towards our North Star.
Exactly.
Which always has guided us, okay?
Yeah, so I want to encourage our listeners, look more into socialism.
Yes.
Like, what could you learn about actually what you think the world should, or, this country, what's the direction that we should be going into? See if what you believe we should be going into actually already aligns with a particular politic, with a particular ideology. And how can we really grow the options that people have around engaging politically and growing political power for the sake of the well-being of the people.
Yeah.
Not just for the sake of having fucking power.
Yeah.
I hope that the Revolutionary Baddies goes down in history as people that were proponents.
Please put us on that side.
For socialism, for something new, for something different, for something that most people actually would already get behind.
You're there. We
don't have to convince people.
It's just these tricksters, these dressed in blue tricksters come along and they're like, yeah, that's kind of our agenda.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not. Because you have to dismantle capitalism.
Yeah.
To really have the type of future that we want. And
that we talk about. Yeah.
And if they're saying that they can have some type of form of capitalism that serves the people better,
they're lying.
They're lying. They're
a fool.
That's what they take. Bamboozle, hoodwink, led astray.
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited. And you know what? Not only do I want you to be a socialist, I want you to put the R word in front of it. I want you to be radical. I love being. I don't know if it's my Scorpio rising, but I believe in the intensity of just going all the way there.
Yeah.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
Radical socialism.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
We need a radical socialism. We need a radical feminist revolution. We also talked about that before. But when you think about it, the way that the country it has been existing it really makes you feel like, damn, how the fuck are we going to get reparations? There's no way of getting reparations under capitalism.
Absolutely not.
Not for black people.
And the only candidates typically that you will find even saying, I will support some form of reparations or legislation are socialists.
Right. That's it. So if you want, look,
don't be tricked out of that. If you see a candidate talking about they approve of reparations, I don't care what article comes up about them following them saying that. Hush.
They might be on to something.
They're on to something better than the person not talking about it. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't care.
And we talk about this in the what's that? The Big Payback.
Yeah.
The Big Payback or reparations episode. Make sure y'all check that out.
One of my faves.
With literally one of my favorites.
Because tatted on me now. It's tatted on me now. And so America is radically transforming as it always is.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's typically been more covert, but let's be a part of that radical transformation.
Yeah.
And let's build some true worker power.
Yeah. If people are looking for a place to start, there are some great organizations to support. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the unions that exist. If you're in the South, especially, you should be supporting those unions. You do not need to be a Durham Public School worker to support them. There's so many opportunities for the community and to show up in the same way that they did with Local 22 in Winston-Salem, like we talked about. Much of the 10,000 people that was organized in 7 days to support the workers, a lot of those people were just people from the community. They didn't necessarily work at Reynolds. So you see this actually happening a lot when you go to major marches. You will see unions from other places that are in support of those workers. And so that's a great place. Like if you don't work in education, but you care about teachers and the school, the people that work at the schools, there are ways for you to support those unions. City workers unions, the communications workers unions. There are farm workers that are always trying to get better conditions. These are all opportunities where you can just support, show up. So that's one way. And then another way is with some of the alternative parties that aren't the Democratic or Republican Party that exist. You don't necessarily need to be a part of those parties to support them, to vote for their candidates, to push for those candidates' elections to be available in your city. We couldn't vote for some of the PSL candidates. I don't even know if we could vote for the damn Green Party candidates in North Carolina, in some places. Yeah. But because it takes more people actually getting involved, right? So I just want to encourage, those are two great starting places, just to even be informed and be aware about the different fights that are happening in your city that are not necessarily directly impacting you, but they make all the fucking difference.
Durham, the Durham City Council, they've been up to some things lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're putting their money and where they're
Yeah.
not putting their money.
Yeah, I gotta tap back in. I gotta tap back into the budget fights because that is what it is. It is a fight.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
literally a fight for the economy.
yeah,
That's another place where people can get involved. Is like showing up to your city council meetings or whatever they are, where they are discussing the budgets. Because in those smaller meetings, they may not be private, but the work sessions where they do make the decisions about what's going to be on the agendas and what actually gets approved, because some of that doesn't happen in those large meetings. In the public meetings, they happen
yeah.
in the smaller ones that's during the day, during work hours, shit like that. But that's where shit gets done.
Yeah. Showing up, looking them dead in the eye and saying, you won't get another motherfucking vote from me.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it dead. Keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw what happened in the last election. Some people got sent home.
Yeah, some people got sent back home. They got kicked off the island, bitch. Off the island.
Yeah. And just being, just like when it comes to talking about socialism, it's not going to be, obviously Mom Donnie had a great success in New York City, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But in supporting candidates, it is going to take time. And what I think the other side has been quite genius in is that they will take losses now for wins later.
Yeah.
And a lot of times us on the left, we're looking for, because we are so desperate for change, we're looking for wins now. And we're like, I don't have time to worry about 2050. I don't have time to worry about 2048.
Yeah.
Like, we need the wins now.
Yeah.
And in that, we're not seeing the long-term strategy of supporting certain things. We're like, let's just throw our support by this now, and let's just make it to the next thing. And let's just make it to the next thing.
Yeah.
And there has to be some type of not just long-term vision, but long-term strategy to match.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you won't have the person you support win now.
Mm-hmm.
But what is gained in the campaigning and the grassroots organizing around these candidates, and just like I say, the knowledge of what they're trying to platform, it's planting a seed now that may not grow for another 10 years. But that's okay. I hope we all plan to be around in 10 years, right?
I do.
Yeah. So if I got to plant something now to eat in 10 years, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. Just keep watering it, check on it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need it. And honestly, we do need to be planting a lot of things that we can
and really letting them grow.
Yeah.
Letting them mature. Letting it develop along with the conditions that we're in. Not just sitting there stagnant as an idea from 10 years ago, but really letting those seeds transform.
Yeah. So we are so excited for all the things that we are planting right now as the Revolutionary Baddies.
Hell yeah.
That are going to blossom and grow, and you all are going to see soon. So thank you all for being with us for episode 21.
Thank you so much.
Don't weep, Mary, don't weep. We have one more episode, and like I said, we are still with y'all.
We are.
So we're very, very excited about this next chapter.
Yes, and I will drop in the description notes some of the unions and parties that people can support, look into, get some information on. Please take a look at that and share that information with those that it makes sense to share with, for sure. Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode. Please continue to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Apple, and we are on patreon.com/Revolutionary Baddies. Hit us up on Instagram too if you got anything you want to chat about after this episode, and we will see you for our season finale.
Boop, 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 boop. Bye.